have questions.
What's all this about? I don't like where those arrows are pointed.
Jashar is sorry. This was the only way. But in the end, you will all thank him.
If you think a handful of archers can stop us, Jashar, then you've completely lost your mind.
Need something.
But Jashar knows all the angles. He knows that an innocent pat on the back can carry with it a needle of poison. In fact, it should be taking effect right about now. The archers, they are only here to buy more time. You're up. Good. Jashar was worried the poison might have been too much, considering it was made for that mammoth of a red guard. The red guard fights in the pit as we speak. He will no doubt crush the poor sap that is up against him. We must hurry if we are to watch. The girl has her own match, but somewhere else. They will take us to her when our match is done. You will notice you have all your belongings. This is to prove to you Jashar did not poison you out of malice. In his prime, our friend was a great arena fighter. If you can last so long without playing with politics. If not for his strange affinity for lesser creatures, he would have been Grand Champion. Of course, the bigger the title, the more adept one must be outside the arena. His choice to leave may have saved his life. Here, in the pits, I will handle the politics and keep us all safe. There is our gladiator now. Jashar prefers this environment to the arena. It is far more intimate.
Jashar! You bloody snake! As soon as I'm done with this one, I'm gonna drive you through the stone!
Do you not see Jashar is on your side? But we'll see how angry you are when your pockets are overflowing with gold. Now, this is when Jashar's hard work pays off. Jashar has spent many moments
Not so tough now, are ya?
You will have good action for a few more fights before their opinion sways.
Except there ain't gonna be any more fights. Save the one that's about to happen right now.
If you dislike gold that much, it cannot be helped. But here is your share. 500 septims. However, your friend and the girl are committed to at least one more fight. Bowing out now will cost us all that, and more.
Zora! What have you done with her?
Nothing. It was a poor choice of words. The girl is not a prisoner, no more than you. She has her own fight. But Jashar could not risk the three of you strong-arming your way out of here. He has debts to pay.
If she's lost a hair on her head, you hear me? One hair, and God's as my witness, I'll shove your tail so far down your mouth, You'll have two on the other end.
Do not worry. Jashar would not cross you. Nor does he want to be called Two-Tails. In fact, as a measure of good faith, your companion and I are fighting together. And, as fortune would have it, our opponents are favored 3-1. Would you like to place a wager on yourself? You can bet up to 500 gold. That comes to a return of 1,200 septims. It would be foolish not to, unless you plan on leaving your gold to your kin. After all, the pit is no place for thieves. The wishes of the dead are respected here. Did Jashar say 1,200? His mistake. Jashar is uneducated and very poor at arithmetic. Excellent. Both you and Jashar will be much wealthier by night's end.
Jashar? It looks like your match has gotten pushed back. Your dance partner got a case of the brain rot and fled.
How unfortunate. What does this mean for Jashar's bets?
You've got Nocturnal's luck, Cat. Different pair, but the same odds. The crowd doesn't think much of your chances. In fact, not a single patron has come to complain. Seems like they weren't betting on them so much as they're betting against you.
Alas, Jashar's reputation precedes himself. It will likely be another hour or so before the fight begins. Do not worry. This is all going according to plan. Jashar suggests the two of you grab a drink and mingle. When the others arrive, the fair lady will let you know. poor sod they teamed up with your Shar, huh? I almost feel sorry for you. That cat's got 9 lives, and he's gonna need them all in the pit. Of course, seeing as you only got 1, you better be damn good, or damn slippery, if you want to survive. I don't know you at all, but I've been watching him. And that, Khajiit, is what my friends in elsewhere call a house cat. A fighter, like you. But I've been known to do some recruiting, if the prize is right. See, in every arena you got your wolves, and you got your dogs. The wolves are like your Redguard friend. They draw the crowd. Now, the dogs are different. They don't have the sharpest fangs, or the thickest hides, but they make up for it with grit. When a wolf takes a bite out of you, it rips away a chunk of flesh. When a dog sinks its teeth into you, it never lets go. In the pit, that's what makes for a good show. And I got a keen eye for dogs. Nobody does, least of all him. I'm guessing that's why he worked so hard to get his opponent replaced. The fair lady will tell you that they lost their backbone, but what she won't tell you is how. You see, when we found out that the fight was going to be here, I overheard Yashar muttering to himself about the blood on the walls and the cage. So I paid the fair lady for some information, and it turns out that your previous cage partners were vampires. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Could be the chance of infection was high, and this ain't exactly the place for a potion or a priest. The point is, he wanted things changed, so he changed them. Must have had something to do with that Argonian that was here the other day. This one was stiff as a poker, and clearly out of his element. We would have made him for a Jarl's man, if it weren't a bloody lizard. But as soon as he vanished, so did our blood-sucking friends. Not a coincidence, if you ask me.
Yes?
So, the Red Guard won. It was unexpected, but not entirely unprecedented. That is precisely why his victory was unlikely. The plates of muscle that cover your friend mean little when they cannot be flexed. Simple. You'll notice the size of the ring. It's clearly been designed for wolves. The cramped space forces the action and prevents the beasts from fleeing. Such measures are not needed for mortals. The social pressure is enough to induce fighting. What the space does is give an advantage to those who use daggers and press attacks. A large weapon will clip against the walls and present a major disadvantage for fighters. Of course, the average pit fan pays no heed to the size of the ring, but rather the size of the muscles on our combatants. True, but your opponent would recognize this as well. Not to mention the opposite is true, given the cage dangling over the center of the ring. This would present a significant tactical advantage for any fighter. The fair lady is kind enough to describe the fighters, and I am well acquainted with the ring, having traversed its grounds on numerous occasions. I do think my lack of vision is an asset. It allows me to judge the fighters purely on factual information. This is not to say that intangible qualities don't exist. Things like pressure and the influence of the crowd are very real. We simply lack the means to measure them. As such, any data related to such factors is unreliable. Perhaps, but the point is, it cannot be measured. If it were an absolute, the betting public would never lose a wager. They would simply choose a fighter and collectively will them to victory. Easy. The odds dictate who I wager on. For instance, by my calculation, a man that size has a 2-to-1 chance of being beaten by a smaller opponent. However, the odds the fair lady set for the match were 4-to-1. Now, having no other information on the combatants, the choice was clear. While the situation favors the smaller opponent, the larger one provided the more substantial reward based on the level of risk.
So, you're one of Jashar's friends? Or should I say, friend, seeing as you'd be the first? They call me the Fair Lady. What can I do for you? That's right. It's the best way to operate outside the law. You stay in one place, and one day even a drunken lout will stumble upon it. The Jarl's men ain't much smarter than that, but that makes them smart enough. That's why we rarely use this place. Oh, save for special matches, like with your friend there. Most days I'm working in some dirty cellar, sitting on a stool with more splinters than hairs on me head. But I'll take a few needles in the rear if it keeps us out of trouble. Fair's fair. I do more than handle them. I set the odds. Now, you might be thinking, what's this old hag know about fighters? Not a sodding thing. But it ain't my job to pick the winners. It's to set the odds. And to do that, you have to know the betters. Not the overgrown oafs they're betting on. Every fight's got their bride and their groom. If I set the odds right, then you've got an equal number of folks on both sides of the aisle. You got too many on one side, you change the odds so the rest of the patrons sit on the other. That's the only way to guarantee we come out ahead. It doesn't matter which fighter wins, because we get a piece of every winning bet. I don't know about you, but Jashar's got a reputation. I'd wager it's all a sham. But it ain't my business if the patrons want to believe it. He's always doing some sort of grooming exercise, like licking his fur or straightening his whiskers. People see that, and they see a milk drinker. They'll risk 100 gold to win 30, because that's how little they think of him. We don't take a cut from the fighters. It don't make much sense, seeing as the two of you can wager against each other. Of course you might not get the same odds. That's why we handle the wagers. Fair's fair. It would be just like him to bet against himself. But he did put it on the both of you to win. Same as any chambermaid, tavern wench or jarl. You grow up in it. My dad was a gambler. He liked to bet on wolves, not men. Different animals, same rules. Some win, some lose. Fair's fair. Fair's fair. I'm sorry, but there ain't enough coin in your pocket to make me answer that. Because I handle the gold. When you win, I pay. And when you lose, I don't. Fair's fair. I ain't one to say no to flattery, but you'll have more luck working the fans whole year. I'm too old to play anyone's fury. $50 ought to do it. Don't look so surprised now. Information costs money. Fair's fair. A pleasure doing business, stranger. As for what I know, your previous opponents were a tough drawer. At least, I could tell as much by the way Jashar's ears cringed. This new pair, though, nobody knows what to make of them. Two foreigners from Hammerfell. You know, the ones that got them funny swords and even funnier robes. If nothing else, it'll make for a good show. Then you're in luck. It looks like our friends from Hammerfell have arrived. Last call for bets. 3-1 for Jashar and the New Blood. 2-7 for the warriors from Hammerfell.
Those two have no idea what they're in for. Be waiting for you at the victory table, friend.
Do not worry. Jashar has crossed blades with this type many times. Fortune smiles upon us both. Ready yourself. There is no announcer here. The battle begins when the weapons are drawn.
So, they call me the Fair Lady. What can I do for you? Then you're in luck. It looks like our friends from Hammerfell have arrived. Last call for bets. 3-1 for Jashar and the New Blood. 2-7 for the warriors from Hammerfell.
Those two have no idea what they're in for. Be waiting for you at the victory table, friend.
Do not worry. Jashar has crossed blades with this type many times. Fortune smiles upon us both. Ready yourself. There is no announcer here. The battle begins when the weapons are drawn.
Just so fast! Stand still! You can't beat me! Son of a... I cannot... I'll see you in pieces!
So, they call me the Fair Lady. What can I... Then you're in luck. It looks like our friends from Hammerfell have arrived. Last call for bets. 3-1 for Jashar and the New Blood. 2-7 for the warriors from Hammerfell.
Those two have no idea what they're in for. Be waiting for you at the victory table, friend.
Do not worry. Jashar has crossed blades with this type many times. Fortune smiles upon us both. Ready yourself. There is no announcer here. The battle begins when the weapons are drawn.
Never should have come.
Supposed to stand there and take it? Fight back!
That's all you got? I'll make you pay. There's no escape.
So, you're one of Jashar's friends? They call me the Fair Lady. What can I do for you? Then you're in luck. It looks like our friends from Hammerfell have arrived. Last call for bets. 3-1 for Jashar and the New Blood. 2-7 for the warriors from Hammerfell.
Those two have no idea what they're in for. Be waiting for you at the victory table, friend.
Do not worry. Jashar has crossed blades with this type many times. Fortune smiles upon us both. Ready yourself. There is no announcer here. The battle begins when the weapons are drawn.
Fight back! Back!
There's no escape.
So, live to see another day, Cat.
It was a lucky win for Jashar. His partner did all of the work. Here is your share. A handsome sum, and well deserved. You and Jashar make for an excellent team. This could be the beginning of a very profitable relationship. Unfortunately, Jashar still has business here, but you will find your friend to the north, at the peak of the Sky Temple ruins. Trust Jashar when he tells you. She is safe.
This ain't over, Cat. Seems to me there's only one of two outcomes. Either Zora's safe, and I beat you bloody, or she ain't, and I beat you dead.
Shishar still hopes you will choose a third option, but he understands. He will take his beating when you return.
Damn. As much as I hate to admit it, that pot of Pajit stew will have to wait. Let's go to those ruins and see if we can't even the odds. I have a trick for people like Jashar. I take what they say and think the opposite. Should have remembered that back in Whiterun. If he says she's safe, then what he's really saying is, we better hurry our asses over there so the little furball can escape. So come on. Hopefully, we can make it back here in time for dinner.
Nice work. The crowd took a liking to you. Won't help your odds much, but there's more than one way to make coin here.
Not bad. Now I see why Jashar chose you as his partner. Too bad that information cost most of us a small fortune.
Champion, friend. Fighting with Jashar is like fighting with one hand tied behind your back, but you still got it done.
Enjoy your last breath.
You can't win this!
Still here. What do you want me to carry? You lead. I'll follow. I'm right behind you. What do you want me to carry? Lead on.
Anybody there? Mercy! Now you're mine. Now you'll pay.
Enjoy your last breath.
You won't get the best of me. I'll kill you if I have to. Mercy! That takes care of that.
They say Skyrim belongs to the Nords. Mostly Nords say it. But I say it belongs to whoever has the biggest hammer.
Ah, a visitor. Old Golden Inn has hundreds of years of history, friend. Do you think the ghost is one of Tiber Septim's dead men? Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter. Have a good rest. It's the big room with the double bed. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
An inn. Food for the thirsty,